Oh, it's been a while since the last recap video. If memory serves me correct, the only one I've done this year was opening night versus Boston, and that was like a good 2 months ago, so it's been a while. And I've had to take some time off, mainly because of health and a few other things, working. And I had a whole bunch of notes for Capitals Ducks on Friday, but I never made the video. Like, by the time I realized, like, damn, I should do a video about this, it was 1 a.m., the game had just ended, and I was just like, you know what, I'll come back to it tomorrow. And by the time, tomorrow rolled around, I woke up and all that, I didn't have it. So anyway, I figured if there was as good a time as any to come back, it would be tonight. Home date against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Blue Jackets are coming in. They're a little banged up. They're coming off a crazy overtime loss to the Florida Panthers when they had a 4-1 lead, like in the second period, and a 6-4 lead in the third, and they still lost that game. So defensively, they're a little, tired, having to play an up and down the ice kind of game versus the defending champs. Now, the Capitals were coming off a loss to Anaheim in a shootout in a game we led multiple times. But to keep it a buck, I'd have to say, at least in my opinion, I feel like Anaheim controlled the game, and ultimately, they pulled it out in the shootout. So, and we've struggled in shootouts, in the shootouts that we've had this year. So that wasn't a great sign either. Lost Ryan Leonard during the game on a hit by Jacob Trouba. So he didn't play tonight, and he's going to be out a little bit. He's on IR. Charlie Lindgren, he's on IR too. No John Carlson for tonight. In fact, let me look that up. Let me make sure, because I don't want to get that wrong. I'd hate to... where is it? Yeah, no John Carlson tonight. Okay, I was right the first time. Anyway, down a couple of key guys and our backup goalie going into tonight, coming off the Anaheim loss. And a very wide open game early on. Neither team scored in the first period, but we were outshot by 2 in the first period. I think it was 12-10 Columbus, but nobody could score. Definitely got a few decent chances early on, but shout out to Jet Greaves because he had a great game tonight. But he had to go up against Logan Thompson, so there's that. Second period, early second period, Jacob Chychrun with his 11th of the year. Assist by Anthony Beauvillier and Tom Wilson. Wilson curls in from behind the net and finds Chychrun in the slot, who snaps it past Greaves. Again, Chychrun's 11th of the year. We get on the board early. And then it's a lot of shots on goal, but nobody can really do anything besides the Chychrun goal. So this is 50 seconds into the second period. 4:27 mark of the second period. Capitals go on the power play. Kirill Marchenko tripping, but we can't really do anything with it. And the Capitals power play has been, I would say, in fact, our special teams has been our biggest sore spot on the year. We have struggled. We've given up 3 shorthanded goals this year, and I've seen all of them. All of them have pissed me off. But we held strong tonight. We also held strong in the Ducks game. I think Anaheim went 0 for 5 on the power play. We were 0 for 3 on the power play, so we didn't do ourselves any favors in that regard. So there's that. And then jump to the 12:56 mark of the second period. Capitals go on the power play again. Kirill Marchenko holding. We get a couple decent looks. Lord have mercy. We get a couple decent looks, but again, we can't do anything with that. Now, this is a Blues team. This is a Blue Jackets team that coming into tonight was 30th on the penalty kill. So if there's any team, you would hope that the special teams could get going against, it's Columbus. Still can't do anything there. 19:02 mark of the second period. Gaunch holding. Washington goes back on the power play. Again, we get another good couple of looks. Can't do anything with it. And then 12 seconds later, we wind up on a 4-on-4 and eventually a Columbus power play because Dylan Strome gets called for hooking. And for the most part, we hold serve. Now, if memory serves me correct, it was either the second or third period, and I should have took this down on my notes, where Tom Wilson had scored, but ultimately the refs rule it dead right then and there because on the replay you see he kicked in the puck. Well, he kicked it in and it redirected into the goal off of Greaves, and it clearly crossed the line on the replay. But he clearly kicked it, so no goal. And I'm not mad at it. They got the call right, You wish you could have got that one by luck, but that would have been an awful call if the refs had given that one to us. So there's that. Same thing that's going on through the first and second periods. A lot of shots on goal, a high shot volume, but nobody can really do anything outside of Jacob Chychrun. 9:25 mark of the third period. Blue Jackets wind up on the power play. A 4-minute double minor, Hendrix Lapierre high sticking. And this is where I felt like, damn, we might just lose this game right here, because if they score on this, they're going to get their confidence back. Coming off the Florida game, even though they lost, they got 6 past Bobrovsky. But thankfully, the defense held strong. We cleared screens. Logan Thompson, he made 5 saves on the power play, and Rasmus Sandin and Tom Wilson each had a block. And then shortly after the Blue Jackets power play ended, Gauntz ends up committing a tripping penalty at the 13:53 mark. Capitals wind up on the power play. We don't do anything on it. But ultimately, all that is rendered moot because at the 18:34 mark, Alexei Protas, he gets his 10th of the year on an empty netter with the assist from Martin Feravari. Caps ultimately hold on. They win 2-0. I think we're about a point or so ahead in the Metro. Everybody in the Metro lost today, so that's always a good thing. The boys have won 10, if memory serves me correct, 10 of their last 12. So we're playing some of our best hockey of the year, even though we're a little banged up. So it's always good to see. Our next game coming up, memories, check out the schedule. Carolina, Thursday. And I have the day off, so I'll be watching that. And it's in Washington. First meeting of the regular season versus the Hurricanes from last year's playoff series. After that, 2-game road trip, Winnipeg, Minnesota, home versus Toronto, and then a home Detroit starting December 20th. And then to close out the year, we get the Rangers at home, 2 at New Jersey and Florida, and then New Year's Eve versus the New York Rangers. So by the end of 2025, fingers crossed, we're leading the Metro Division because it has been tough this year, but New Jersey's taken a step back with Jack Hughes' injury. Carolina's been banged up, but they've held serve. Though they did lose to... They lost to somebody today. Either yesterday or today. They lost to San Jose 4-1. So I should have put this down in my notes too, so I'll be better at that for the next video. But the guys win. I'm feeling good. Logan Thompson, his first shutout of the year, 39 saves. He stood on his head tonight, and he's probably the biggest difference on the game. So, in terms of recaps, I'm gonna try to keep these like short and sweet. Just get to the point. I would like to do every game the rest of the season. If you'd rather me do it like this or go back to, like describing the notes that I took down while the replay is going on, let me know. And again, barring health, or if I'm working, actually no, barring health, I would like to do, every game the rest of the season. So, I appreciate everybody that has supported the channel. I know things have had to take a bit of a backseat as of the last couple months, but 2025 is almost over, so the goal right now is just to get back on track. That's it for tonight. I'm gonna go to sleep, and I'll see y'all next time. Thanks.